Boulder's top stories this week. The city releases this year's water use plan. The Parks Department curbs the use of harmful pesticides to promote health. And the Police Department gears up for the annual torch run.
Welcome to Inside Boulder, featuring topics and stories that impact the community of Boulder, with Patrick Von Kaiserling and Jennifer Bray. And on the news desk, Natalie Wood and Mike Benuelos bring you the stories making headlines in the community this week. Inside Boulder News starts now.
Welcome to Inside Boulder News. I'm Natalie Wood. It's been a tough winter in terms of snowpack, but city officials announced this week that water supplies should be adequate for meeting the community's needs throughout the rest of the year and into 2013. City spokeswoman Jody Jacobson says this is because last spring's exceptionally high snowmelt runoff completely filled the city's reservoirs on Upper Boulder Creek, and the reservoirs stayed fuller for longer. In addition, Boulder will have access to an above-average amount of water from its western slope supplies through the Colorado Big Thompson system. This means that water budget reductions and water use restrictions are not necessary at this time.
The city determined that this year we will not need to institute water restrictions or reduce water budgets for our water customers based on current water supplies. So we do have enough water storage, and we're getting enough from western slope allotments in our senior water rights. Even despite the low snowpack, we aren't going to have to declare a stage 1 drought or worse.
The city will continue to monitor for drought conditions to ensure that water demand projections are on target with actual use, especially during the irrigation season. If the situation changes, other actions may be considered. In the meantime, Boulder residents are encouraged to be mindful of their water use and utilize this resource efficiently.
We always encourage our water users to use water wisely, and they do a great job of that. We've been 15% below water use levels that were in existence before the 2002 drought, so we still are 15% below 2000 and 2001 use levels. As we head into the irrigation season, we ask people to water their lawns very conservatively and very wisely. Typically that means watering only in the evenings or early mornings.
For more information about programs that are making a difference, including rebates, strategies, and tips, visit bouldersaveswater.net. Even with the limited moisture here, the spring season has arrived. This means our lawns are growing taller and greener, and to the delight of children everywhere, so are our dandelions. This year, the Parks and Recreation Department is working to educate the public that some weeds, such as dandelions, are actually signs of a healthier park. Inside Boulder News spoke with city staff to find out why.
Parks and Recreation Department for the City of Boulder has been a national leader for years in the environmental efforts. In fact, in 2011, the Parks and Recreation Department received an environmental award from the National Recreation and Parks Association. And we wanted to get the word out and help educate our public at the same time, letting them know what great things Parks and Recreation is doing and also helping them so that they can do it at home as well.
We've seen a lot of dandelions early, and they tend to come up earlier than the grass, and so this time of year we'll see quite a few, but the kids really enjoy them, and when you see them there, it means that there's not synthetic pesticides being used on the turf. So you can take your child to the park, your baby, let them crawl around on the grass, and have your dog roll around, and that they're not going to be exposed to synthetic pesticides, which studies have now shown are linked to cancer in children and dogs who are exposed to commonly used herbicides that you'd find in weed and feed.
So the Parks and Recreation hasn't used herbicides for over 10 years on our turf. And in the past few years we've started doing some parks organically. And now we have 6 specific sites that are only organic turf and landscape bed care. So those parks were throughout the whole city, and we're treating them with sort of advanced cultural techniques.
An awareness campaign about the city's pesticide limiting approach started earlier this week with a digital ad in the local newspaper. For more information about the methods Boulder uses to control weeds and pests and keep our play and natural spaces beautiful, visit the Parks and Recreation website. Boulder police officers have long been supporters of Special Olympics athletes, and next week they'll put feet to the pavement to raise money to help them compete. The annual torch run takes place on Friday, May 18th. Key organizer Sergeant Dave Sieper says the event helps a great cause.
It's a celebration, walk, bike, or run. It's not a race. We're here to celebrate the courage of the Special Olympic athlete. And even though that it's sponsored and presented by the law enforcement family, everybody is welcome to the event. Employees of the city departments, citizens are all welcome to enjoy the event. In every community that hosts the torch run for Special Olympics really see the progress of these athletes with intellectual disabilities, and what they can achieve if they just had the opportunity is now given to the Special Olympic athletes. So that in itself really warms your heart.
There's still time to sign up and participate. Individuals can join the group to run, walk, or bike from the Public Safety Building at 1805 33rd Street to the main library and back. An opening ceremony starts at 9:30 that morning. Climate action planning in Boulder is in full swing, and the city is inviting the public to help identify and prioritize approaches to reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The current Climate Action Plan tax is set to expire in March 2013, and Council will be considering new short-term and long-term goals for addressing climate change. This discussion is expected to include the possibility of a ballot measure to extend the tax. This could go to voters in November. The city is hosting a community brainstorming session to collect ideas about energy efficiency programs and methods that should be considered as part of Boulder's plan for the future. This session will be Monday, May 14th, starting at 6 p.m. at the East Boulder Community Center. All interested individuals are welcome to attend. City Council is next scheduled to discuss climate action at a study session on May 22nd. Staff plans to present information about the lessons we've learned as a result of CAP efforts to date, outline a possible new long-term aspirational goal of climate neutrality, and discuss the importance of shorter-term targets and ways to measure progress. Council will also be asked to provide general direction about a proposed commercial energy efficiency strategy. More information about these items will be posted on the Energy Future website by the end of the day on Friday, May 18th. The May 22nd study session will be broadcast live on Channel 8 and BoulderChannel8.com. That's all the time we have for this week. You can connect with Inside Boulder News on Facebook by submitting news tips and questions. Just search for City of Boulder Channel 8. Thanks for watching, and stick around for more Inside Boulder next.